You ready? Let's go. 2-minute daily devo for Friday, April 16th. I'm in the Contemporary English Version today, and our verse of the day comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 25, verse 1. Here's what it says. You, Lord, are my God. I will praise you for doing the wonderful things you had planned and promised since ancient times. You know, the Bible, we've talked about this before in other devos, the Bible is full of praises, of songs of praise. You know, the book of Psalms is a lot of songs that are praises and worship to God. And this is another one of those. The first 5 verses anyway, is just a praise and a song worship to God. It just talks about how great God is and all that he's done in the past to help the people of Israel. And it points out for us about how amazing our God is. You know, that it says here that you have done these wonderful things that you planned and promised since ancient times. You know, God has always had a plan. You go back to Genesis in the beginning of the Bible, Adam and Eve, and they were in the garden. It was perfect, and God says the Bible that God would walk with them in the garden. And then by Genesis chapter 3, they have fallen. They've rebelled against God. They've done what they wanted to do instead of listen to him. And so they sinned, and then there's the fall of man, and there's that separation from God and man. Well, the rest of the Bible, up until Jesus, is God's plan to redeem us and restore us back to that relationship with God. So God has had a plan from Genesis 3 all the way till Christ comes and Christ dies and then he rises again. And so it's been part of God's plan. God has planned this out since the beginning. So this is not something new, and God has exercised all these plans, and you go through the Bible and you can see how they're all woven together and comes together in one big story, God's big story. And the amazing thing about that is that you and I are part of that story, that God has woven us into his story, and we are continuing to be part of it. Every day that you're alive, every day that you interact with people in your life, that you share the love of Jesus Christ, it's all part of God's plan that's talked about here. God had a plan, God had a purpose for your life, and God has things that he wants you to do. And you are part of that plan that he's had since the very beginning. So as you head out today, I want you to think about that. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're involved in, if you are being used by God and walking in the purpose and the plan that he has for your life, you're part of God's plan. You're part of the story that he's had forever. All right? That's it. I'll see you guys on Monday.